Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Colleen. I'm with Shine On Yoga. I have Fritz here joining us today, and we have a Sam coming in also to say hi. So if you have any furry friends or non-furry friends, they are welcome to join this class today as well. Today I have a full class for you guys again. You won't necessarily need any props, but if you'd like to use some, I always recommend blocks, bolsters, and blankets if you have them nearby. And if you have them, if you don't worry about it. We are going to, I'll show you a few different ways so we can modify as needed. So if you are ready to start, we're going to start out in a nice comfortable seat on your floor or mat if you have one. And we're just going to come and sit down nice and straight and tall, keeping our spine lifted. If you would like to sit up on a blanket or a pillow or a bolster or anything like that, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, you can just have a nice comfortable seat on the floor with me. Take some nice big inhales and exhales. Relax the forehead. Let the shoulders grow heavy and let them fall down your back. Chest nice and lifted. If you're clenching your jaw, relax your jaw. We're just going to breathe here for a moment. Just setting our pin before we get moving. Now, while we're sitting here breathing, I do want to read the card that I pulled for you guys today, and that is Mouse Spirit. Its message is to tend to the small things. The humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and Mouse Spirit calls on you to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside of you that says, "This doesn't feel right." Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage others or operate in the world that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse Spirit reminds you that what seems small may be more important and powerful than you think. So look again. Do not underestimate yourself or your potential for co-creating something amazing when you pay attention to the details. Was a very nice message for our practice today. Let's go ahead and take one more big inhale together. Exhale, sigh it out, let it go. It can be audible or you can just be quiet, whatever you feel comfortable with. And we're going to go ahead and transition to all fours. If your knees are cranky or sore and your mat isn't really thick, it's thin, you can always pad the mat with a blanket or a towel or just whatever you have to give yourself a little extra cushion. All right, so we're going to set up in a nice tabletop position, knees underneath your hip points, arms or your whole arm is going to be in one straight line, so from your shoulder down to your wrist. Back nice and straight, so one nice line from the top of your head to the base of your spine. And we're going to do a little spinal flexion called cat-cow. It's one of my favorites. If you are familiar with it or you've practiced with me before, go ahead and take it away. Otherwise, if you're new, we'll walk through it a little bit slow just to get our bearings. So on an inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs. We're going to lift our head, lift our tail, feeling a nice big stretch in our front body, coming into cow pose. As we exhale, we're going to round the spine, drop the tail, drop the head, really press through the back, feeling a nice big stretch. cat pose. Inhaling cow, exhaling cat. Go ahead and do a few more just on your own inhales and exhales, taking it at your own pace. Let's go ahead and do just one more round. And then after your next cat pose, go ahead and bring that back to stillness, a nice flat neutral spine. We're going to look forward at our hands, and we're just going to walk our hand one handprint in front of where it was. So we'll be directly underneath your wrist. We'll tuck our toes under, take a nice big inhale to start. And then on your exhale, we're going to lift our knees up off the mat, straighten through the legs, press down through the heels as we move into our first downward facing dog of practice. Now you can bend a knee and then the other, walking your dog, getting a nice stretch in your calf muscles. Or you can just leave that or just return to stillness. Or come back to stillness if you were walking your dog, or stay there. And we're just going to breathe here. Really press away from the mat. Let those heels grow heavy. It's okay if they don't touch. We'll take one more big inhale here. Exhale, let it go. And from here, look up at your hands. We're going to make our way up towards the top of the mat. So I like to take little baby steps. If you want to take bigger steps, that's perfectly fine. And then once you reach the top of the mat, keep a slight bend in your knees. We're going to inhale, come up halfway, keep a nice flat back here. Exhale, let it go. Let everything hang coming into your forward fold. Now a forward fold is a little bit difficult. You can always use blocks here to bring the ground up to you. If you don't have blocks, you can use whatever you have around the house that can bring the ground up to you. And if you don't have anything, just bend your knees as generously as you would like until you feel comfortable. The more your knees are bent, the more you're going to feel this in your lower back. The straighter they are, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. But keep a little slight bend there. From here, we're just going to keep breathing. Let's do one more big inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to roll it all the way up until we're standing. So go as slow as you would like. Once you reach the top, we're going to loop our shoulders up, back, and down. We're going to stand up nice and straight and tall as we come into a mountain pose, feeling really grounded in our feet, nice and tall through the spine, chest lifted, feeling strong in our mountain pose. We'll breathe. On our next inhale, let's reach our arms up to the sky, feeling a nice big stretch through our side body. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees, hinge at the hips as we swan dive all the way down to the mat. Inhale, we'll come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Take some nice big breaths here. All right, wherever you're at, make sure your palms are placed firmly on the mat. We're going to step one foot back and then the other, coming into our first plank of today. Now, you can always lower down to your knees to come into half plank, or just stay nice and lifted through your plank, really pressing away from the mat. Press back through the heels. Breathe. Make sure your hips aren't dipping too far down. Make sure they're not lifting too far up. One nice straight line. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way to the mat. You can even belly flop if you'd like. We're gonna walk the hands in underneath our shoulders. Take your elbows, bring them into your side, and on an inhale, we're just gonna slowly lift our forehead up, coming into a little baby cobra here. Little breath here. And on an exhale, we'll go ahead and lower the forehead to the mat. Now we're gonna make our way back into our downward facing dog, so you can either come through all fours, or I'm gonna show you another variation. So if you're going through all fours, we'll meet you there. Otherwise, you can come along with me. We're gonna tuck our toes under, take a nice big inhale to start. And then exhale, we're gonna press away from the mat, coming into the top of a plank. Take another breath in. And then exhale, we're gonna lift our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths. You can pedal it out. You can shake your head. Take any movements that feel good to you. If stillness feels better, you can be in that also. All right, from here, let's plant our left foot into the mat. We're gonna lift our right foot up, keep the toes dialed down so your leg doesn't need to be clear up here. It can just be in line here. Take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, we're going to bend that knee in towards our chest, look forward, and then we're gonna step our right foot in between our palms. Now with our left foot, we're gonna step that in just a little bit. Keep it at a nice 45-degree angle. I don't know who's calling me, but they can go away. All right. All right, so your left foot is at a nice 45-degree angle here, a little bit closer in. And then from here, we're gonna use our core strength to rise up. We're going to turn towards this long edge of our mat. Try and bring this right foot, or this right knee, into a nice 90-degree angle. It's okay if it's not parallel. Your feet should be on two parallel train tracks, not a tightrope. That's going to help you with your balance here. And then that left edge of your foot is really going to be digging into the mat here. So we're going into a warrior two. So we're going to have our base nice and set up. Make sure your torso isn't drifting too far forward. Make sure it's not coming too far back. So just nice and centered here. Feeling that strength in your legs. And then your arms, you can keep them at your hips if you'd like. You can bring them to heart center, or you can stretch them out, imagining that you're pinching a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Keep a nice lift into your chest. From here, you can look over your right hands. Keep breathing. Warrior two. Now when you're ready, we're going to drop our left palm down. Keep your legs where they are. We're going to take our right palm, turn it towards the sky, and then we're going to lift it up and cross that midline, coming back. So you're going to feel a nice stretch. Try and keep your chest nice and open here. Look up at that hand. Breathe as we come into a peaceful warrior. I don't know if you hear all that squeaking, but hopefully not. All right, let's return back to our warrior two for just a second. Then when you're ready, we're going to take our right hand, we're going to bring it to the top of our right thigh here. Just let it rest. And then we're going to take our left hand, swing it around and reach up and past your ear and your head here. So one nice straight line, extended side angle. Breathe here. One more big inhale. And then exhale. Let's go ahead and lower our left arm down towards the mat. We're going to place our palms down, spin on that left foot, so now it's facing towards the front edge of your mat. And when you're ready, we're going to step our left foot up to meet our right, coming back into a forward fold. We'll inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go, and breathe. One more big inhale here. And exhale, we're going to roll it all the way back up into standing. Loop your shoulders, shake it out. Do anything you need to do so that way you can go into your mountain pose and be really, really still. I'm going to come up here for just a moment. There we go. I had a little something on my phone. It was bothering me, so I had to get rid of it. All right. Let's breathe here. You can close down the eyes even if that feels good to you. Let's take one more big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And we're going to do that whole little flow on the other side. So let's take an inhale, reach towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, let's come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go. Breathe here. All right, when you're ready, let's step one foot back and then the other. We're moving back into that plank pose or half plank, yogi's choice. Take some nice big breaths here. There's lots of planks today, I'm not gonna lie. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Release the feet, release the head. On your next inhale, we'll rise up into our baby cobra, or if you'd like to grow your cobra, press into the mat. You can come up a little bit higher. If you are moving into a higher cobra, make sure that you're not feeling any discomfort in your back. If you are, move down a little bit. You don't have to come up so high. Also, make sure that you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. You're not collapsing into them. You want to roll those shoulders back and down, really lifting your heart center forward. And breathe. One more breath here. And exhale, we'll lower it all the way back down to the mat. All right, I'm going to meet you guys in downward facing dog. So through all fours or through plank, yogi's choice. And once you are in your downward facing dog, take a few moments here just to breathe. You can shake up your head and neck. All right, on your next inhale, make sure that your right foot is planted this time. We're going to lift that left foot up, keep those toes dialed down. On your exhale, we're going to bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward. We'll step that left foot in between our palms. Go ahead and step that right foot up a little bit. Make sure you're at an angle and that your base is nice and steady below you. As you engage your core, rise up, and we move into our warrior two. Right, are we all there? Okay. Once we feel good, then you can decide on your hand position. And we'll take a moment here to breathe. we'll drop that right arm down, lift our left arm up, come across that midline, looking at our left hand, peaceful warrior. Breathe here. And when you're ready, we'll move into our extended side angle. So left forearm to left thigh. We'll reach our right fingers out and away. And we'll breathe here, feeling a nice big stretch. All right, when you're ready, we'll lower that left palm down. Go ahead and spin on that right back foot. Lower the left palm down. And then we're just gonna step our our left foot back to meet our right, coming back into our downward facing dog. Take a breath here. All right, when you're ready, plant your left foot. We're gonna lift our right foot up in line with the hip. Exhale, we'll bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward, and then we're gonna step our right foot in between our palms once again. And then we're gonna step our left foot in, keep a slight angle to it. Now from here, walk your right hand in towards your right arch. So you won't be framing your foot, it's gonna be on one side. Go ahead and straighten through that right leg. And then from here, we're gonna take our left hand and just bring it across our body as we reach up to the sky, coming into triangle pose. You can look up at that left hand, breathe here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower that left hand down to the mat. Go ahead and frame your foot. You can bend through that right foot. Step that left foot back a little bit. We'll step our right foot back to meet it. Back to plank. Take a few breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, we'll lower to the belly. Inhale, we'll rise up for cobra. Take a few big breaths here. Exhale, lower it back down. And then I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, shake it out. We have that whole little ditty on the other side. All right, let's plant our right foot down. On an inhale, we'll lift the left toes up. Exhale, bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward. We'll step that left foot in between our palms. Hop that right foot up a little bit, keep it at a nice little angle here. We'll go ahead and bring our left palm in towards our arch of our left foot. Straighten through that left leg. And then from here, we'll pull our right arm across our body as we reach it up towards the sky, coming into our triangle pose. Take some nice big breaths here. When you're ready, we'll lower that right palm back down to the mat. Go ahead and bend through that left foot. We'll step our right foot back a little bit, and then we'll step our left foot back to meet our right, coming back into plank. This is our last plank of class, so if you've been doing half plank, maybe try full plank. We're gonna breathe here. When you're ready, let's lower all the way down to the belly. Let it go. Inhale for cobra. Take a nice big breath here. And we're going to exhale, lower it back down. I'm going to meet you guys back in downward facing dog. Just going to take a few breaths here. When you're ready, look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way back up to the top of the mat. And once you get there, we're going to inhale, come up halfway, nice flat back. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Take some breaths here. You might be a little bit warmer now, so if you really had to bend your legs before, maybe you can straighten them a little bit more. One more big inhale here, and on your exhale, let's go ahead and roll it all the way up as we come into our mountain pose. Once you get there, take a moment to ground. I'm going to come towards the long edge of my mat, which if you want to also, you can come along with me. Get any extra energy out. You can shake it all out, and we'll stand for a moment, just breathing. All right, if your eyes are closed, you can open them. We are going to work on a little bit of a balancing posture here. It's been really windy here lately. Sometimes when it gets windy where you're at, you get a little forgetful. It can unbalance things. So this balancing pose will help us to really ground and get back into our bodies and kind of still our mind, especially if you're having any anxiousness. So we're going to move into tree pose. If you know tree pose, you can take it away. If you don't, we're going to go a little bit slow here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to shift our weight into one foot or the other. So I'm going to shift my weight to my right foot. Now when I'm shifting, I'm not dumping the weight into it. So we're not doing the mom hip thing. We're just shifting. So it's going to be very slight. Now from here, maybe you just pick up the heel of your left foot and you keep those left toes on the ground. So maybe you're here today, and that's okay. Or you can turn that knee out. You can bring the bottom of your foot to the inside of that right ankle. Maybe you're here. Or maybe you slide it up your calf, and you're here today. Or maybe you slide it all the way up to your thigh, your inner thigh, and you're here. So you can choose your positioning. It's going to really be based on your body today, so listen to it. You're going to press your leg against the bottom of your foot, and that is going to bring up the energy towards the center midline because they're just pressing away from each other, helping you stabilize. Now, if you do have problems with balance, find a place on the floor in front of you that is not moving. It's very important that it's not moving. If it's moving, you're going to move with it. Find that spot and put your focus on that spot. And if none of this is working for you, find a wall. Find something that you can use to kind of balance yourself to give you a little bit more stability. Now for your hands, they can be on your hips like this. They can come to heart center, or maybe you grow them like giant trees. And if you move, that's okay. Just move with it. Trees move and sway in the wind, so just pretend you're one of those trees. Breathe. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Just shake it off, come back into it. Let's do one more breath here. And then exhale wherever you're at. Let it all go. Maybe shake out the legs, shake out the arms. If that went terribly for you, it's okay. Just shake that off. We have another side to do, and this is a practice. You won't be perfect at it every time. Just work on it and you will gradually get better. I promise you. All right, but you have to work on it. You have to consistently work on it. If you don't, you won't see any improvements. Okay, let's go to the other side. So we're going to shift our weight over to the left, so no dumping. Then you can either just lift your heel up, you can bring it to rest on the inside of that ankle, calf, or thigh. Hands can be at the hips, heart center. You can reach them out long and away. So you have some options, so choose the best option for you today. Keep breathing. That's the one thing you do have to do, is keep breathing. Everyone. One more big inhale wherever you're at. And then exhale, let it go. If you fell out of it, it's okay. I didn't fall out of it this time, but sometimes I do. So, and sometimes the camera catches it. All right. So we did some balancing. Let's go back to the front of our mat. We're going to make our way back down. We're going to come to a seated position. That's our last standing posture. So on your next inhale, let's reach up to the sky again. And then exhale, we're going to forward fold. Take a few breaths here. This is our last forward fold. All right, after a few breaths, really generously bend your knees, bend them, bend them, bend them. You can let your heels lift up. And then from here, what I like to do is one hand behind me, then the other, and you can come to a nice, comfortable seat. So we're coming back to the seat that we started with. We're going to start to cool it down. So let's take a little twist. I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee. My right fingers are going to come around behind me. On an inhale, we're just going to sit up nice and straight and tall. And then on the exhale, we'll go ahead and journey into that twist, looking over towards the right. Now, I'm not using this left hand to pull myself over. It's just there for support. So inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. On our exhale, maybe we'll journey deeper into that twist. Take a few breaths here. And on your next exhale, let's return to center. Take a beat. Compare both sides. See how you feel. All right, let's go to the other side. So left hand to right knee. Left fingers are going to come around behind us. Inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. And then exhale, let's journey into that twist, looking over towards the left. Inhale, maybe sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, maybe journey a little bit further. And we'll take a few breaths here. All right, when you're ready, let's return to center. Take a breath. See, again, how you feel. Compare both sides. All right. Let's stretch our right leg out long and away. I'm going to bring my left heel in, and then I'm just going to pick my booty up and kind of turn my hips towards that extended right leg. From here, we're just going to lift our arms up. Exhale, fold forward towards that right knee. Now, if you don't come to the foot, if your hands don't reach your foot, that is okay. If they only come to the ankle today, that's great. If they come to your calf muscle, that's great. If you can only come this low, that's great too. A prop that I like to use for these forward folds, bolsters or blankets or pillows, you can bring that on top of that leg, and then you can just use that as a little extra support. If you don't have anything like that, just bend that knee just to make it a little bit more friendly. So choose your option. Eventually you'll get to where you can grab your foot and you can bring your nose to your knee. But if you're not there yet, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. We're going to take a few moments to breathe here, just stretching out that hamstring muscle in the lower back. You're ready? Let's walk ourselves back up. We're going to switch our legs. So our right leg is going to come in, left leg is going to go out towards the corner of our mat. Maybe you pick your hips up so you are facing towards that foot. Inhale, we'll reach our hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold towards our left foot. And breathe. So when I got up earlier to get rid of that notification on my phone, that was a high wind warning. We've had a ton of them here lately, and it is super windy out. We're supposed to get some snow and rain. It was almost 80 degrees yesterday. Crazy Midwest weather. I decided to come on a little early on the live today just because I wasn't sure what the weather was going to be like, and I was hoping I wouldn't lose power, so. I don't. All right, from here, let's walk ourselves back up. Feel that rush of energy. We're going to make our way onto our back, so whatever that looks like for you. I'm just going to spin around here and come onto my back. Once you're on your back, go ahead and give your knees a little hug. You can rock around on your back to get a little back massage. Sometimes that can feel good. Take some nice big breaths here. Because I have one more move for you before we rest and then adjourn. And this move is going to work our abs. So we're going to work on some yogi bicycles. So we started working on those at the beginning of the year. I haven't done it for a little while. So we're going to revisit our yogi bicycles again. So I'm going to give you some options. Let's let go of our knees here and then just bring them to kind of a tabletop position. Now from here, if you'd like, you can just take your hands behind your head for these yogi bicycles, and this is going to be stop one. You can just bring opposite elbow to opposite knee. Leave your knees where they're at, and then you can drop down in the middle and just go back and forth. That's one option. Another option would be that as I bring, let's say, my right elbow to my left knee, I'm going to extend out my right leg. Then we'll bring it all back into center and then switch. So go ahead and choose your option, and you can switch between the two, whatever works best for you. We're going to do this just for 30 seconds, so I'll let you know when. So take a few breaths, prepare yourselves. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do a little bicycling. So move at your own pace, at your own time. I'm keeping track of the time here. As we do this, just one last little strengthening move before we're done. Just to fire up those core muscles. We got 10 more seconds. Keep going, keep moving. I'm going to do one more just to even it out. And then we'll go ahead, bring those knees back into your chest. Give yourself a hug. That's the last hard thing we have to do on the mat today. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and let your feet fall to the mat. We're going to walk our feet out as wide as the mat, and then let your knees fall in together and let your legs rest on each other. From here, just snuggle those shoulder blades underneath your heart center. You can let your arms fall out at your sides. You can bring them to your belly. We're going to take one quiet moment here just to thank ourselves, to thank our bodies for everything that it does for us, to really appreciate it and to give ourselves just love and gratitude, because we don't a lot of the times, or a lot of us don't. We end up last on the list, if we even make a list. We even make our own list. So right now we're just going to focus on ourselves, our bodies, and breathe. Now I am going to go quiet for a moment just so you have that time with yourself. And know that I'm here, I'm holding space for you, and we will all journey out of this last pose together. If you would like to stay in this if you'd like to stay in this constructive rest pose a little bit longer, feel free to stay as long as you'd like, or if you'd like to transition into a shavasana, you are more than welcome to. If you need to continue on with your day or evening, go ahead and walk the feet together, or at least hip distance apart. Take a breath here. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto your favorite side. We'll come into a little fetal position. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow. We're just going to take a moment here to breathe. Finally, when you're ready, we're going to return to a nice comfortable seat. So go ahead and rise up. You can bring your head and neck up last. You can come into whatever comfortable seat feels good for you. If your eyes are still closed, you can open them back up to the world around you. Thank you so much to those on the live who joined me today. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the hearts and the love. I saw a few hearts, but I was talking, so I couldn't call it out then. If you left any comments, thank you. I don't see them usually as the class is going because I'm clear back here and it's clear up there. But I do appreciate it. I try and look back and see them, so thank you so much. This replay, if you're on the live, will be on my YouTube channel early next week. That information is in my bio. The channel on YouTube is called Shine On Yoga LLC, so you're more than welcome to check that out. That has all of my classes that I've done. They're all free, so you can find me there if you enjoyed this class and want more. Those of you watching on YouTube, the replay, thank you so much for watching this and practicing with us. There were people on this live, so know that you are not practicing alone. And if you like this practice and you're on YouTube, you can like all of the things. Subscribe if you're not already. You subscribe, then you know automatically when I upload a new one. And also, if you leave a comment on any of those practices, I do read them. And if there's anything that you'd like to work on or practice, please let me know, and I can try and incorporate it into these practices. All right, so I want to thank you guys again so much. Wherever you're at, if you're having crazy weather too, please stay safe. If winter is wintering where you're at, stay warm. I'm so ready for spring. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and week. I'll see you guys next week. Namaste.